I wanted to be able to share my progress, but it was important to me to maintain my anonymity. I started coming to see Shelly in January after struggling with severe OCD around primarily contamination. I had always struggled with small amounts of OCD throughout my life, but it really amplified to the point that I was essentially not functioning. I couldn't eat. I lost about 10 pounds over the course of a few weeks. I wasn't eating. I struggled with going to the bathroom, basically doing any day-to-day tasks, even drinking water. I would go days, like a full day, without wanting to eat or drink because I had a great fear that I was contaminated, and so anything I touched, or if I touched myself, it was contaminated. I did a lot of cleaning around my house. I had my carpets cleaned, the whole house. I spent like $500 on that. I knew I needed support, and I honestly couldn't fathom getting better. I remember one of my biggest struggles was, getting through my day-to-day was difficult, but I was fearful of my kids getting sick because I felt like I was contaminated, so I couldn't kiss them. And that was heartbreaking to me as a mom, to not be able to kiss my kids because I thought I would infect them with something. So when I started to see Shelly, the first thing that we started working on was me being able to touch my mouth, because obviously to eat or drink I needed to be able to feel okay with that. And so we started doing work around that. I started seeing her weekly, and I felt hopeful after the first session, like I had found the right person and the right technique that could make a difference. I had been in therapy before, so I knew I needed something specific to be able to work through this. And I would say within the first 2 to 3 weeks, I started experiencing, for me, what was significant relief, because I started being able to, at least in small doses, do day-to-day things that I needed to. When I was able to work on touching my mouth, I was able to start eating more regularly, drinking water. I forgot to mention my sleep as well. My sleep was really affected, and I would wake up with severe anxiety. And so using the technique, I was able to, when I woke up in the morning, I was able to use the technique immediately to be able to even get up and get out of bed and start my day. I would use it when I was getting undressed and showering, which also, even going to the bathroom, I had a lot of concerns around washing my hands and being clean, and so I was able to use the technique to do these basic functions that I needed to do on a day-to-day basis that were incredibly stressful for me. And I found very quickly that once I became consistent and I was practicing and I was using it and I was pushing through these moments where I felt really stuck around my OCD, I was able to get through them. And it wasn't always easy, and it required a lot of dedication and practice, but I knew that it would benefit me because I was seeing the changes, which was very, very powerful for me. When I first started seeing Shelly, I honestly, I felt completely hopeless, more hopeless than I have felt in my entire life. And because of that, I was severely depressed as well. So having something that gave me hope back was incredibly powerful. And now it's been about 7 or 8 months. I stopped seeing Shelly probably about 2 months ago, and I wouldn't say everything is completely gone, but I am living a normal life. I'm not stressed about the things I was stressed about before. I can eat and drink and kiss my kids and go to work and sleep and go to the bathroom and take a shower, and I can do those things without stress or anxiety. And I honestly, in the beginning, I never thought that would be possible again. So I am so incredibly grateful to have gone through this process and to feel like I have my life back, because it really felt for a while that my life was ending, and it really felt like I was never going to get better. And now I feel like I'm still doing the work, and there's a handful of things that are still challenging, but they feel completely doable for me, and I have a strategy and a process now to manage them. And one thing that's been really helpful for me as well is that my son has started exhibiting some anxiety and OCD symptoms, and I feel prepared to help him through that in a way that I never would have had I not experienced it myself and gone through this process myself. So as hard as it has been for me, I also feel grateful, because I feel like I'm going to be a better support for him because of what I've been through.